This goes out to all the women in the world, especially her. You know it don't even matter your age, don't even matter your color. Your fellas, I ain't forget about y'all. This is for everybody that like to dance. Just listen to what I'm saying and do it and take a chance. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. Just get on the floor like I said before. Y'all remember that down low.
You are an old man who thinks in terms of nations and peoples. There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no Russians. There are no Arabs. There are no third worlds. There is no West. There is only one holistic system of systems. One vast and immane, interwoven, interacting, multivariate, multinational dominion of dollars. Petrodollars, electrodollars, multi-dollars, Reichmarks, rims, rubles, pounds, and shekels. It is the international system of currency which determines the totality of life on this planet. That is the natural order of things today. That is the atomic and subatomic and galactic structure of things today.
All right, Chad, how are we doing tonight? How are we all doing tonight? All right, so we've got a few things lined up today. Dare I say, I might have actually done a little show prep. Now, I don't want to get your hopes up too much because I am retarded and lazy. So, bare minimum of show prep, but nonetheless, a little bit of show prep. Tom Bombadil in the chat says, finish my video. You know what? We just might get a little further in it tonight. That was, if I recall correctly, you're the one that sent for the hippie bonkers shit. Like the weird Christian cabal or whatever that guy was on about. I don't know. But it was goofy and bonkers and funny. And I might need a palate cleanser when we're done all this shit. Because we have got some fucking stuff tonight that just might set me the fuck off. But first, let's start with the lighter shit, shall we? Because I don't think I covered it on here. I haven't streamed in a little bit. I've been a little busy. But let's talk about E3, I guess. Or at least a little of it I saw. I didn't watch a tremendous amount of E3 because who the fuck cares? I mean, from what I understand, there were companies that weren't even showing games. They were just talking about diversity and Black Lives Matter. Who fucking knows? But I did watch a Nintendo one because I'm a Nintendo dork. And in all fairness, it is the only current system I own. I don't have an Xbone or Xbox Sex or whatever the fuck the current Xbox is. You know, Xbox 420. Xbox 666. I don't know what it is. And I don't have a PS. What are they up to? 5 now? I guess? I don't have a PS5 either. I don't have any. The most current Xbox and PlayStation systems I have are PlayStation 2 and an Xbox 360. And I'm pretty sure they weren't announcing any new games on either one of those systems. Maybe I missed it, but I doubt it. So I didn't watch a lot. I watched the Nintendo thing. And even the Nintendo thing, I skipped through it. It's like, you know, the trailer, okay, so they announced Tekken Dude is in Smash. I don't even remember the character's name. Tekken Dude is in Smash, okay? All right. I mean, I don't particularly care for the Tekken series because the biggest turnoff for me for Tekken has always been none of the characters look at all interesting to me. That's like a key thing to suck me into a fighting game, is an interesting roster of characters. And the characters in Tekken, I'm sorry to you Tekken fanboys out there, they look generic as fuck. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, but you know what? It's certainly a guy from Tekken certainly belongs in Smash Brothers before like the tuxedo mask looking motherfucker from Persona or whatever latest anime titty wife they shoved in there from bullshit weeb shit game. So sure, whatever, fine. And the trailer was kind of like him dropping Kirby off the fucking cliff and Kirby just float. That was adorable. And then there was commercials for like weeb shit. Who cares? And then there's like a commercial for, I don't know, something about like lesbians on a train or something. I'm hitting the 10-second skip a lot through this. And then it's like, oh, Metroid 5. Fuck yeah. Already pre-ordered and paid for because I happen to have had a holy fuck ton of store credit at my retro game store. Um, so I was like, yeah, pre-order. Sure, pay me up for it. That's fine. Um, so he says it's funny Nintendo went with your Zelda Game and Watch idea, except it doesn't have the actual Zelda Game and Watch. That is a real missed opportunity. Like vermin. Who cares? To my knowledge, they never re-released the Zelda Game and Watch, which I'm sure it's crap. Like that's way more than a Game and Watch could probably cry. But in all fairness, Nintendo was really good at making those Game and Watch things entertaining. So who knows? I mean, it wasn't like garbage like the Tiger stuff. You know, honestly, if they put out like a Game and Watch classic, basically that just had all of them on there, like a recreation of all of them, I'd probably pick that up in a heartbeat. If I can find that Zelda thing and I happen to have the money, I'll probably pick it up. But who knows? I'm not paying a scalper out to the ass for it. Um, but it would be nice to have. Yeah, the Zelda Game and Watch thing they announced was cool. The Breath of the Wild 2 stuff looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm actually kind of at a point where I'm probably just going to avoid watching trailers and stuff for it because I already want to get it. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of sitting here like, you know what? I want to go in as blind as possible. I avoided like all reviews and shit for Breath of the Wild, even though I got into that game a lot later than a lot of other people. I shouldn't say a lot later, but like I got it for Christmas that year. So, a lot of people were already, you know, fucking autists had already fucking 100%ed it long ago. Um, so yeah, the Zelda Game and Watch thing looks cute. I'm sure they won't make enough of them. Who knows? Whatever. It'll probably sell a lot more than the Mario one. I think the Mario one sold less than they expected. But in all fairness, I mean, while it's a cute novelty, does anybody really need a fucking yet another way to play Super Mario Bros. 1 for fuck's sake? Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 and especially Link's Awakening are not things they've re-released a million times already. Only a couple thousand. Somebody says Tekken is dollar store Street Fighter. I mean, look, I know a lot of Tekken fans fucking enjoy it, and they're always the first people to lecture me on how the fighting mechanics in it are superior to Street Fighter, and I'm like, I'm sure they are. I don't care. I'm not some Spur. I'm not Dark Side Phil or Low Tier God. I'm not pretending like I'm a fucking competitor at it. To me, fighting games serve the purpose of being party games. When you got a couple of friends over, that's what they are to me. And that's why I like just having a wide variety of interesting characters. So Tekken just never scratched that itch for me. But if you love Tekken, that's fine. And he's a fine choice for Smash. I mean, I'd rather like Crash or Spyro. I'd rather Shantae. Um, I'd rather expand on the Sonic franchise a little. Maybe give us Knuckles and Tails. Expand on the Mega Man franchise a little. Maybe give us Base, Proto Man, maybe X or Zero. We have Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man would be an easy Echo Fighter. Ken and Ryu are cool, but I'd rather like maybe M. Bison and Blanca from Street Fighter. Maybe Morgan from Darkstalkers. That would be a really cool addition. Um, maybe Sub-Zero and Scorpion and Raiden from Mortal Kombat. I mean, I'd rather all those things I just listed before Guy from Tekken. But you know what? Guy from Tekken, and I don't even know the character's name. I don't care. Dude from Tekken is still a better choice than fucking Joker or I don't know, anime titty lady that they put in last time or whatever. Or hell, even Sephiroth from fucking Final Fantasy VII. I never played Final Fantasy VII, but I didn't know who the fuck Sephiroth was before this. So whatever. I knew who Cloud was. Cloud's iconic enough. You just know who the fuck he is, even if you don't give a fuck about. It's Final Fantasy. But whatever. It's not an awful choice. It's certainly not the worst choice of DLC they've stuck in this. That's for fuck sure. And there's a lot of Tekken fans who are probably happy about it. So cool. Whatever. It's not DLC I'm likely to buy. I haven't dusted off Smash in a while, to be honest. But if I do get the only DLC I'm probably going to get is Banjo. I guess the Piranha Plant was DLC, but I bought it early enough that they just gave it to me for free. Piranha Plant's a cool ass fucker. Yeah, there's just a lot of characters I'd rather him. Bomberman. Why is Bomberman just an assist trophy, but we got fucking Joker in there? Whatever. Like I said though, Metroid 5 looks fucking awesome. I'm very excited for that. I like Metroid a lot, and I actually prefer the 2D over the Prime games a great deal. And I like that this is a continuation of Fusion. You know, this is a continuation of the core Metroid story. Because, you know, the Prime games are like forgettable little side adventures that take place, that if in the timeline take place between Metroid 1 and 2. So, whatever. Like I said, that was E3 for me. You know, I don't know. Maybe y'all found more interesting shit in it. Good for you. But that was all that really caught my eye. Like I said, Metroid 5 already pre-ordered for me. All right, so we got some stuff we're going to talk about. Someone said Metroid Dread may be the reason I finally get a Switch. Oops. I mean, I think it's a better deal and I understand I'm a Nintendo nerd. I'm biased to it, but like, what the fuck is on the Xbox 666 or whatever the fuck it is? Xbone Sex 1X, whatever the fuck, the X51. I don't know what the fuck's on it. You know, what the fuck's on the PS5? Alrighty. So we're gonna watch. You guys want to watch a music video? You guys want to watch a little music video? Enjoy a little music? That's a rhetorical question. I don't care. We're gonna do it anyways. So let's go ahead and go into Windows Capture. So he says, "Happy Juneteenth Day, the holiday they just created." I know. Yeah, you know, I honestly don't know what the fuck Juneteenth is. I don't think I heard the word prior to a couple weeks ago. All of a sudden, everyone talked about it. Now it's a federal holiday. I don't know exactly what it is. Something to do with black people. I assume it celebrates the day that the Wu-Tang Clan was formed, which I think it's about time we made that a federal holiday. So I support that because Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with, right? But I assume that's what it is. So I'm just gonna go with that's what it is. That's right. Cool. So he says, frankly, all the consoles have slim pickings. I don't know about that, man. Switch got some great shit. Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8, Smash Brothers. I mean, those are just some exclusives that come to mind, you know. And there's some other great shit on there I play, like Super Blood Hockey's fucking great. I like the Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I mean, those aren't exclusives, obviously. But yeah, man, there's some good shit on the Switch. Tropical Freeze, that's a fucking fantastic game. Now I know that was a Wii U, but nobody had a Wii U, so you know, what the fuck ever. But yes, happy Juneteenth Day, celebrating the day the Wu-Tang Clan came together. I think we can all celebrate that. All right, so this is a nice little song. No Lockdowns Anymore, featuring Ariana Grande and Marissa Jared Winokur. I don't know who that last. I know who Ariana Grande is. I don't know who the other one is. But let's find. This is from The Late Show with James Corden. So you know it's good, right? It's gonna be funny. This is gonna be really funny. This is from late night TV. That's where all the funny stuff is, right? Well, let's check it out.
Woke up today, feeling okay. Wow, this is new. Got the vaccine and it's been 2 weeks. There's life in the streets, hot people at brunch, and I've got a hunch mimosas are gonna be bottomless. Turning off soon after 15 long months.
Are y'all having fun? Y'all having fun with this? You know, I I know some of you Zoomers don't know this. Don't remember this. You didn't exist for this, but there was a time, and it feels like the fucking Jurassic period now. But there was a time when late night TV was pretty fucking funny. Back in the '90s. Yeah, I mean, even before that, you go back way before that. You go back to the real classic of Johnny, Johnny Carson and shit like that. But back in the '90s, at least when I was coming of age, Leto, Letterman, Conan, those guys were funny as fuck. And and even in the Bush years, like the Daily Show and the Colbert Report, those were pretty fucking funny. Excuse me for 1 second, folks. Excuse me for 1 second. Oh, sorry, I had to wrangle up a misbehaving animal there. No, we're not going for a walk right now, buddy. Lay down. Go for a walk when you're done. Sorry, pulling a Davis there. Anyways, there was a time when late night TV was fucking funny. That time is long fucking past. This is. Oh, let's keep going. You couldn't even get like a cool gay guy. You couldn't get like Neil Patrick Harris or some shit. You get.
The door, the sunlight is a fantasy. It still doesn't feel real to me. No lockdowns anymore. Will they still take my temp at the door? Shout out to our favorite MD, Anthony Fauci. Look at my hair. I'm no longer scared to have it cut.
That's about all I could take, by the way. I saw this and you had to too. God damn. They're not even good at the propaganda anymore. Holy fuck. Who is that supposed to, like, was that supposed to make the vaccine seem cool? That a fat gay guy is singing a cringy song? Fucking hell. Alright, well, like I said, I saw that shit. Now you had to too. Alright. Fucking hell. Somebody says this is a parody of Good Morning Baltimore, the opening song from Hairspray. Also, James Corden, the dude singing isn't gay, he's married. Oh, well, that settles it then. I mean, it's never, especially in Hollywood, never has a homosexual had a fake heterosexual marriage. Yeah, James Corden is about as heterosexual as Nick Fuentes. All right? Don't fucking lie to me, all right? Don't fucking lie to yourself. And by the way, I've never seen Hairspray because I myself am not homosexual, so I didn't realize I had a homosexual in my audience though. But yeah, let's talk about some more shit, shall we? And this, I'm not fucking happy about this, but this is off the website, the Roy's Report. Julie Roy's, Christian investigative journalist. Now, look, you could say a lot about Julie Roy's. She's certainly not what we on these online circles might refer to as red-pilled or based. but she breaks a lot of scandals in conservative Christian circles. And we're going to be reading a little bit about our good fucking buddy, James McDonald, pictured here, with, I don't know, I guess his family, some of his family. Not all of his family, but I guess some. This is from a few days ago. James McDonald sends email asking for money. Responds to inquiry with degrading insults by Julie Roars. According to an independent audit of Harvest Bible, the disgraced celebrity pastor James McDonald siphoned off millions in church funds to support his lavish lifestyle. But according to a recent email by McDonald, he's a victim of, quote, envy of an, quote, envious child, unquote, and needs your money, quote, to rebuild, unquote. Quote, tragically, I was thrown out of the church we gave our lives to by a group of rogue leaders, McDonald writes. He further claims Harvest elders crafted false allegations against him, quote, as a pure act of vindictiveness, unquote, to cover the church's, quote, looting, unquote, of the broadcast ministry Walk in the Word. Now, I'm sorry, I'll keep going for a second. Then, referencing his arbitration with Harvest, in which he won about $2.5 million, along with all digital and physical assets of Walk in the Word. I was unaware of this until a couple of days ago. I knew that James McDonald had lost, at least temporarily, the rights to all the Walk in the Word stuff. Walk in the Word, by the way, was the radio show he had. A lot of pastors do this. They take their sermons, they repurpose it to a radio ministry. Sleepy Doodle says, I'm a woman, not gay. Okay, well, that would explain why you're... that would explain why I guess you're watching Hairspray. Anyways. So, for some reason in arbitration, he won that shit back. They should have probably destroyed that fucking shit. That's what I would have done. And the reason they maintain the rights is because, see, a lot of pastors are smart enough that they very much separate the church they are at from their extra parachurch ministries, their radio shows and that sort of thing. McDonald never did that for all sorts of tax shenanigans and things like that. So he temporarily lost all the Walk in the Word. Now, good luck getting Walk in the Word back on the radio, James. You are still pretty fucking well disgraced. And we'll see here as I'm going over this, he is continuing to spiral. So he's not making matters better. Anyways, McDonald writes, when we won the arbitration and regained access to our teaching ministry, it was in shambles. Like a model plane that had flown so beautifully being returned with report of a crash, when in reality an envious child had dashed it against the rocks just out of sight. Yeah, I would have deleted all of it and I would have destroyed the physical copies and just not given them to him. Throw me in fucking jail if I'd have been those guys. Ostensibly, one of the assets McDonald obtained in the arbitration settlement was the list of email addresses of former Walk in the Word supporters. McDonald notes that in the email that about a month after the settlement, he was able to write the recipients an email. He notes that, quote, only a small number of former listeners responded positively, unquote. Others, quote, who stumbled by the public deception sent by many hateful words. By the way, just so we're clear, refresher course. James McDonald was a borderline sociopathic bully who stole, let's be real, morally speaking, if not legally, stole shocking quantities of cash from the church he led. And emotionally and verbally abused underlings constantly. Essentially ran a cult of personality. Absorbed other small independent churches across the country into his Borg-like network of bullshit. Finally, got caught on a hot mic talking about how he wanted to put child porn on the computers of one of his critics, among other less than kind things he had to say. That brought about his downfall. There's no deception here. Nobody did. Much like another bald goatee motherfucker hailing from Canada I once knew, he always talks about how people lie about him, but can't point to a single lie. I don't know what it is with bald Canadians, um, but they are awfully fast and loose with the truth. McDonald adds, of the more than 4,000 change partners once faithfully supporting our efforts monthly, there are now about 150, the remnant from which we seek to rebuild. Now, some of you, again, some of this bullshit evangelical Christianese shit. What the fuck is a change partner? Well, you see, the bread and butter that these ministries get off on, or get by on, I should say. Oh, get off. Get by on. See, when you just send a one-time donation, that's great and all, but that doesn't really help them budget. They need the pay pigs that agree to the regular donations, the patrons, as it were. They need those pay piggies. So those are the change partners. Now, usually to get yourself a nice little change partner, you got to be, you can't just be tossing $1 in there a month. Some of these are whales. Some of these are real fucking pay pigs, And he had about 4,000 of them, and now it seems he's got about 150. I'm almost disappointed. I shouldn't say disappointed. Part of me is disappointed it's that high. Part of me is surprised it's that low. The Roy's report reached out to McDonald with questions about the email. I'm sure he had positive things to say back, which he would not answer on the record. However, McDonald texted me an invitation to appear with him in a public forum to, quote, answer for the many lies, unquote, I've reported about him. The text included the hash. He texted him. The text included the hashtags gossip slut, gossip monger, filthy gutter website, cancer in Christ's body. McDonald also tweeted the invitation, referring to me as Julie Jezebel Royce. Well, she finally called Julie Jezebel Royce, a tweet from McDonald. I invited Julie to appear in a public forum before an interested audience in answer for the many, many lies she told about me and my family, as well as her bullying of anyone who opposed her or stands with us. What is it about these guys that always project? I did not immediately respond to McDonald tweeted when I did not immediately respond, McDonald said tweeted that I declined his invitation, which I did not. She declined. I followed up with this text, but Julie did not respond immediately to my request for comment. According to his email, McDonald has been able to hire a small staff and encourage people to sign up for his home church network. Video messages for people to use in a home church. He also advertised an upcoming Gramp Camp, an overnight retreat providing training and tools, unquote, for grandparents to connect with their grandkids. James McDonald Industries. We got a whole bunch of pictures here. So that's part one of this saga. A couple days later, on the Julie Roy's website, James McDonald continues tirade, defends using hashtag JRGossipSlut, which she censors because Christians are kind of pussies. Here's the thing. I'm never going to give James McDonald shit for calling somebody a slut or a prick or any of the other things, except with one caveat. James McDonald was one of these moralizing faggots who would go on about all this hand-wringing and pearl-clutching. I remember on his show that, Christians should never watch R-rated movies and this kind of stuff. So you should never watch, Aliens or Saving Private Ryan or The Godfather. But it's okay to want to put child porn on someone's computer because they were mean to you on the internet. That's okay. So he says, everyone at first thinks James Corden is gay, and they find out it's just his British accent, really nice attitude. No, he's gay, okay? Don't be stupid, all right? If you think James Corden has never sucked a dick, you are fucking kidding yourself, okay? And let me put it this way. If he's not gay, he is a fag. I'll give you that much. He's a faggot. In the broader sense of the term, if nothing else. Okay, so we're going to get back into this. Disgraced celebrity, this is from June 16th. Disgraced celebrity pastor James McDonald continues tirade against me in the Reuters report on Tuesday, repeatedly calling me gossip slut and asserting that I am not a Christian but an apostate. The fired and disqualified former pastor of Harvest Bible Chapel also posted a 1,600-word diatribe justifying his use of sexual imagery against me. We'll get to that. We'll read that. If you bristle at the strong language towards this hashtag JR gossip slut, it is because you are not familiar enough with biblical prophets and your sensibilities have turned to 2021 Western world PC culture, McDonald wrote. Again, I certainly have no qualms with harsh language, but that's not a position James McDonald has historically had. James McDonald has been one of these pearl-clutching faggots about things like harsh language. Or possibly you are a red-letter Christian who didn't even read all the red letters and has created a culture of Christ apart from the biblical one. Again, Christian jargon, red-letter Christian, there's certain Bibles you can get called red-letter Bibles in which all the words Jesus actually spoke in the Scripture are highlighted in red. The derogatory, that's almost too harsh. But the red letter Christian is referring to someone who's only read that, essentially. While saying he was confronting me, McDonald also called out the, quote, detractors, he's going all DSP, who never do the right thing and meet with me face to face. That's funny, McDonald, because when I wrote a blog post criticizing you, you just blocked me. Mr. What the fuck did you just say to me? I'll have you know I'm a Navy SEAL. Talk to me face to face. You're well known for hiding behind a block button, you faggot. Former friends who, quote, betrayed my wife and me. Elders who destroyed their lives and reputations, again, quote. And other HBC leaders, pastors who failed to do their, quote, their biblical duty to reconcile and restore. My focus is completely and entirely upon the single catalyst for this destruction, McDonald wrote. You would have to agree I have let her prattle on for a long, long time. Past the damage, past the destruction, past the fallout, well into the healing. And by the way, the replies to him on Twitter are not positive. Like, it's people saying, like, dude, it's time to stop. You're embarrassing yourself. This is, they are like 95%, like more than 9 out of 10, fucking like just saying, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you?" They have to bait me. That's right, Chad. But again, that's not even a position he had. He was basically a Nina Sarkeesian with the block button about 5 years ago. McDonald also referred to the Reuters report as a millstone ministry in his tweet and warned that those who support me will, quote, share in her judgment, unquote. Again, what is it with bald Canadians and their certainty that God will judge people who rightly criticize them? Response is overwhelmingly negative. The response to McDonald's diatribe has been overwhelmingly negative. Someone named Scott tweeted that he owned a book of McDonald's, which he is now planning to burn. And he supposed man of God would be wise enough to literally never use that sort of language when referring to a woman, he wrote. Again, God, you're going to make me defend this guy a little bit. The problem isn't that he called Julie Roars a gossip slut. Because gossip slut is Oh, like, the problem is he's wrong. Like, that's the problem. Okay? The problem is the problem isn't that he called her a bad name. All right? The problem is all the shitty stuff he did. All right? Like, him calling her a gossip slut is that that doesn't even crack the top billion of this motherfucker's sins. Okay? A wife and a mother, Angie Hodge, tweeted, "Didn't you write a book called Lord Change My Attitude Before It's Too Late? Maybe it'd be good to pray that at right now because of this hashtag Julie." Again, it's not even that. It's that the motherfucker thinks motherfucker thinks everybody betrayed him. He was talking about putting child porn on a guy's computer. Okay? He ran a church like somewhere between a cult and a mafia. Fitting that he did it in Chicago. That's what's wrong. Making me defend him a little bit. Damn it. Let's see. An anonymous account. Oh, sorry. An anonymous account. Robin references reports by Chicago radio personality Mancow Mueller and McDonald's former bodyguard Manny Bucher that McDonald once tried to hire a hitman. I wouldn't doubt it. I would not fucking doubt it for a minute. I obviously have nothing to go by but their words. But if I was a betting man, I'd go all in on that bet. Noted McDonald's bullying of employees and Harvest Christian Academy students. We played that on here a while ago. Him just viciously bullying a fucking teenager in his class. And the hot mic recording in which McDonald jokes about putting child porn on the computer of then CEO Christianity Today. Okay, you know what? I kind of defended his harsh language a little bit here. I don't think it was a joke. And if it was, it's pretty fucked up. Okay, so, again, I'm not going to moral fag. I have, in fits of rage, said things along the lines of, I want to kill so-and-so. I want to murder this motherfucker. I have gone so far as to shout things like, I would like to kill his entire bloodline and let him watch. I'm a fucked up motherfucker. Never has it even occurred to me, let alone been uttered, I would like to put child porn on his computer to frame him. Why is that, joke or not, heat of the moment or not, why is that where your mind goes? Even if the thought occurred to me, I wouldn't know where to find it. Does James McDonald know where to find it? Maybe he knows a Catholic priest that can hook him up. So yeah, I think we're being generous calling it a joke. Did Paul and the prophets also put a hit on their sons-in-law lashing out angrily because a student in class wasn't paying attention to him? Plot to plan child porn on an enemy, bully employees, etc., etc. Julie Roars is not our only source. Robin tweeted. Justin Sistma, Director of Worship and Outreach Presbyterian Church in Ontario, Canada, tweeted, "Hey James, are you still upset she exposed your evil, sinful behavior? Have you publicly repented of your public sin yet?" This cartoon's pretty fucking funny. That's pretty. I mean, it's a little bit boomerish. It's a little like, what was the guy, Garrison? Ben Garrison. It's a little Ben Garrison boomerish, but it's still pretty. Look at him, because that's exactly what he's doing. He's just sitting there fucking seething. He's just sitting there fucking seething. SB cut, yeah. Analyzing alleged lies. McDonald claims he has evidence exposing all of my lies. He tweeted Tuesday indicating he believes independent audit Harvest Bible conducted, on which I reported reached false conclusions. Well, that's not her lie, okay? That's even if that's true, that's her reporting what the audit fucking said. The audit found that the church had maintained 2 private checking accounts that gave James McDonald, $3.1 million from January 2016 to February 2019. Gave him $3.1 million. I don't know about y'all motherfuckers, but if someone gave me $3.1 million, I don't think I'd need another penny more ever again. Even if the tax man rapes half that, I'm fucking set. All right. One was an executive account which provided McDonald with deferred compensation and also paid for some of his personal expenses, according to the audit. The other was reserved for account for Walk in the Word, McDonald's Florida Broadcast Ministries. Again, the church and Walk in the Word should not have been officially tied together. But, you know, I guess go ahead and do that if you're going to get 3.1 million, over $1 million a year. The church reported that $1.9 million from the Walk in the Word reserve account went to McDonald and his family members for things like car repairs, motorcycles, hunting expenses, clothing, and eyewear for James. Harvest said at the time of the audit it wasn't seeking reimbursement from James for expenses that never should have been paid out with church funds. I'm sorry, that it was seeking reimbursement for expenses that never should have been paid with church funds. For other examples, the church said it. For other expenses, the church said it issued McDonald too. Let's see how much further we got in this. I don't want to go all through it. Let's see, because I do want to get to his fucking diatribe. Like this is. You know what I don't get about a guy like McDonald? And I'm not saying this from a place of self-righteousness. Let me be clear. I'm a piece of shit. I can't emphasize that to you people enough. I am capable of horrifying evil. I know this for a fact, right? And like, if somebody... I'm not even going to say I'm not moved by him. Like, if somebody came up to me and was like, here's 3.1 million, Bedglov. You just got to go on your fucking shitty show and tell everyone to get the vaccine and live in the pods and eat the bugs and that Israel and China are the greatest countries ever and white people be evil, yo, and all that shit. I'd be like, cool. And I'd take the money and I'd fucking do it. Not going to lie. But you know what? I wouldn't do it twice. You know what I mean? Like, I would, and like if they did that, and then they're like, okay, here's another 3.1 million to do it again. I'd be like, well, now I'm not tempted by it anymore. Now, I already have fuck you money. What do I need more fuck you money for? So I say all that to say this. How in McDonald's position would you have fuck you money and you've been disgraced, and what a contemptible piece of shit you are is now something that even the fucking sheeple evangelicals can fucking see? How do you not just fuck off? You know what I mean? Like, how do you... Even if you believe that you were wrong, right? Even if you're lying to yourself that you were wrong, how do you not just fuck off? Like, if everybody betray me and everybody is treating me unfairly and I have millions of dollars, I'm going to say fuck you and fuck off with my millions of dollars and sit in my mansion and fuck my redhead concubine and play Nintendo games and read comics. Because fuck you. Who cares? Who cares if the whole fucking internet's talking shit on me if I got fuck you money? I don't understand this never mind approve, because we're not even talking about that. I literally don't understand. And I guess it's just because it's not my sin. My sin is not pride, and my sin is not greed. You know, gluttony and sloth and lust and wrath, yeah, I'll check those off. I check those off on the daily, all right? But not pride and not greed. I don't forever need more money. I mean, I need more money now. I hope people hit me up with them super chats. But I don't forever need more money. If I had $1,000,000, I'd turn the fucking super chats off if I was on here. Who the fuck cares, you know? Or I just have it go right to a fucking charity or something. Who the fuck needs more money after that, you know? And I don't need everyone to kiss my ass and suck my dick and tell me how great I am, because I know I'm not. I don't understand that. I don't understand how James McDonald didn't just crawl under a fucking rock at this point. Because it wouldn't have been a rock, it would have been a fucking mansion. Like, James McDonald, you fucking made off with the money, okay? And you know the other thing that floors me? I'm going to let you in on a little secret, James, on the off chance you should hear this. You're actually doing this all wrong. If you just pretended to learn your lesson and pretended like you were sorry, you could actually pretty much just go right back to doing exactly what you were doing. I mean, from a smaller scale, you would have had to rebuild and all that, sure. But, like, if you just pretended like you learned a lesson, you don't actually even have to learn a lesson, because most evangelicals are kind of fucking stupid when it comes to the shit you were pulling, okay? Because most of them are authority-worshipping pussies. And so at the end of the day, while they pretend to be horrified by what a monster you are, they actually always saw what a monster you were and liked it. That's the cold hard truth, James. They always knew that you were an authoritarian fucking bully, and they liked it. It's only once it became too ugly for them to ignore. Once you started saying dirty words and talking about child porn, then it just got too fucking ugly for them to ignore, and eventually all the shit came out. But if you just pretended like you were sorry and you learned a lesson, you could go right back to building up a quote-unquote ministry, aka a cult, and go right back to just emotionally and verbally abusing everyone under you and stealing all their money and treating them like shit and acting like you're God's gift to them while you did it. That's the actual irony of this, James. If you just pretended like you were sorry, you could get away with it. And you can't even do that. I guess that's some sort of cosmic justice. I guess that's truly God's hand in this. But you can't even actually do that. So yeah, I don't understand how a guy like him doesn't just fuck off. Wouldn't you? I would. If all my darkest secrets just got fucking laid bare in front of everybody, and I could just retreat to a fucking mansion and hide, I think that's what I'd do. I don't know, Chet. I don't know. I'll tell you this much, though. people involved, and I'm not just talking about James and his fucking shitty family, his kids and fucking grandkids are probably just as fucking bad. The whole fucking clan, the whole fucking bloodline. I'm not talking about that either. I'm talking about the people who followed him. Nobody learned a fucking thing. Nobody learned a fucking thing. Again, I'm not fucking psychic, okay? The fact that I called in on this guy so early, that's nothing magical about me. Everybody else saw the exact same fucking things I did, and they liked it. All these Christians fucking loved it, right? They fucking loved all the legalism, all the authoritarianism. They fucking loved it. And they're just gonna find another fucking James McDonald. They're always going to find another James McDonald. Remember that line in the first Avengers movie? I know Bedglov in his Marvel movies, but it's a great line. Where Loki says, "There are no men like me," and that old man just looks at him with contempt and goes, "There's always men like you. There's always James McDonald's." The church is riddled with James McDonald's. And it always will be. Because why wouldn't it be? Guess what? Most people who are religious are people that adore fucking authority and having rules and being told what the fuck to do. That's not me. That's not me by a fucking country mile. With the exception of in the bedroom, mommy can tell me what to do. Outside of that, that's not me by a fucking country mile. If anything, those were the perceptions of religion in general I had to overcome before I became a man of faith. But most people who are religious, that is their temperament. They want order. They want daddy to tell them what to do. And in the absence of direct word from God, they'll take a James McDonald like daddy. They'll take a pope. I shit on the Catholics for having a pope, but it ain't like conservative Protestants don't try to set up their mini popes as soon as they can. Like, when Ravi Zacharias, and I always liked Ravi Zacharias as a speaker, as a teacher, as a writer. But a couple months ago, it got exposed that he had been living this double life, and he was a sex pest and a sexual predator, and had just strings of women he emotionally manipulated and flat out gaslit that considered him a spiritual mentor. That he was like, now pray to God to thank him that he gave me a nice side piece like you for all the work I did for him. Fucked up shit. And you want to know what? I would go so far as to say I was disappointed. I was even a little surprised. But I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked at all. Because people are shitty. I know I'm shitty. People being shitty is sort of the first fucking tenet of Christianity. Another bald Canadian I once knew, like James McDonald, but a different bald Canadian I once knew, actually said on a stream once, "Oh, I'm coming to a place where I realize that, I'm so sinful and all." And this is a supposed Catholic man who'd been Catholic for many years. And I'm like, isn't that place sort of step one in fucking Christianity? I don't know. Maybe it's a little different for you fucking papist. But yeah, I was disappointed. I'll go so far as to say Ravi might have actually been legitimately saved and still doing really, really shitty things. I don't know where this fairy tale came from. That once someone's saved, it's like the fucking end of Christmas Carol, and they just complete fucking 180. They just like changing D&D alignments. Like it doesn't work that way. And I'll tell you this point blank: when if you're looking for a church to go to, you don't listen to fucking any pastor that wants to get up there and suck his own dick about how righteous he is. If you're listening to a pastor or a teacher or whatever, if you're listening to a sermon by somebody and his attitude isn't Christ came to save sinners, among whom I am chief, then you fucking run from that man. Because first of all, he's lying to you and lying to himself. Second of all, there is sort of that old saying, and it's a gross oversimplification, but there's only saints who think they're sinners and sinners who think they're saints. The worst motherfuckers are the ones wrapping themselves in righteousness. The absolute worst motherfuckers. Again, I will reiterate, I'm a piece of shit. But when I heard Ravi Zacharias not only was getting some side pussy, but made the girl pray to God and say, God gave you as my side pussy because I'm doing such work for him. We should both pray together to God and thank him. That's fucked up. Holy shit. Like, did they do that? Did you at least do that before, Ravi Zacharias? Tell me you didn't do such heinous shit after post-nut clarity. Like, tell me, how do you do that shit before fucking a girl? And how does the post-nut clarity not hit you like a goddamn fucking asteroid the size of Texas? I don't know. And again, I'm an evil motherfucker. Don't ever let me kid you on that. I know in my heart of hearts I'm capable of horrifyingly evil things. All right? If there's a multiverse and other universes out there, in one of those universes, I'm leading an army, and that army is doing the most unspeakable war crimes imaginable. like clearing out maternity wards with flamethrowers, kind of fucking war crimes. And I'm like, go get them, boys, because I'm a piece of shit. Never let me tell you otherwise. But these fucking moral crusaders, when their fucking closet doors get ripped the fuck open, even I'm horrified at a lot of it. But I just, like I said, I can't imagine that. Like, how do you again getting side pussy? All right, I get it. All right, I'm not gonna act like I'm pure as a driven snow, and I'm not even gonna act like I became pure as a driven snow after getting like. I'm gonna let you all in on a little secret. I like pussy. Okay, and if I had a chance to get some side pussy, I'm not gonna feel good about it. I'd like to think I'd say no, but maybe I wouldn't. I don't know, It's actually funny with evangelicals. It's the sex stuff that's the only stuff that seems to shock them. like I said, the local church around here, one pastor. I'll give his first name, Pastor Jamie. Um, who cares? It's public knowledge, but whatever. Pastor Jamie, and I like Pastor Jamie. He was in a church I was starting to attend to. The church I became heavily involved in branched off of that one. But I was attending that church when I was just starting to go to church and all, and it's like, I like Pastor Jamie, but Pastor Jamie was fucking the secretary. Pastor Jamie he's fucking the secretary. All right, and everyone's like so shocked. Oh my god, he must not even be a Christian. Like, no, he's just a man. He was fucking the secretary. I'm not saying he should have been fucking the secretary. He shouldn't have been doing that. But okay, you fucking the secretary. But here's what gets me about Pastor Jamie. I specifically remember this the one time, and I was just starting to go to church, so a lot of this shit was new to me. So this was and plus I'm such a night owl. I'm always groggy and a little off if I got to get up before noon, anyways. So before all this got found out about Pastor Jamie, we're having a church service, and we do the songs, and I don't know, at least with evangelicals, they do like way too many fucking songs. Way too many fucking songs, all right? It's 9 in the morning, I'm fucking tired, I don't want to sing 18 fucking songs. Can we move on with it? All right, then we do the prayer, all right, fine. And we're doing announcements and shit. And then he has an announcement that, and I don't remember the guy's name, but he goes on about how Bill Smith, whatever the fuck this guy's name is having a problem with pornography addiction, and I guess Bill Smith isn't being very cooperative as the church body is confronting him about this. Like, I don't know, I guess he didn't throw out his computer or something. I don't know. But Pastor Jamie decided that now was the point of church discipline where we all point to Mr. Bill Smith here for being a fucking coomer. And it was one of the most awkward things I ever experienced in my life. Because I'm new there. I don't know anybody. And now I've got this awkward daddy hit mommy at the dinner table. We all got to finish eating our mashed potatoes fucking feeling. Like, just going on like, and look at Bill over here, the fucking coomer. Like, what? God damn. So I say all that to say this. What gets me is the hypocrisy. Like, how do you, Pastor Jamie, know damn well that you're banging the secretary? You a married man, her a married woman. Okay, so this is like adultery squared. Okay, there's two fucking marriages. We're fucking here. How do you know damn well that you're banging the secretary? And you're going to publicly eviscerate this motherfucker for cranking his knob to some dirty pictures? That's what gets me. To me, that is a much more damnable sin than actually banging the secretary. That level of hypocrisy, to me at least, and maybe I'm wrong here, that's the more damnable sin. And in the fucking lost religions of the world that are all about legalism, that are all about you earning your salvation, I understand how that shit happens there. How could it not? But you'd think in Christianity, where the whole fucking point is I'm a piece of shit, and God took fucking just cosmic pity on me, and saved me. You'd think that would be the place where you don't feel the need to act that way. Like, how do you get the words out? Look at Bill, fucking Coomer. And again, that's not what he said, but look at Bill's jacking off the porn. I don't even remember how he put it, but some pussy ass Christian legalese way. But just publicly, and this was a big church. I didn't know Bill. Again, it's not his name. I don't remember what his name is. It was so long ago. But I didn't know Bill. And now I know that he's jacking off the porn. I don't need to know that about him. Why do I need to? I'm just coming here for a little fucking Jesus. And I got to hear about Bill cranking his rod. And you know what? By the way, let's not even touch on the fact that, I'm sorry, sweetie, Mr. Bill's wife. But for the most part, men don't choose porn, they resort to porn. Okay? A willing 5 in the bed is better than a 10 on the computer screen. Okay? Maybe if you were sucking his dick, maybe he wouldn't be cranking his fucking rod. I don't know. I don't know. Tory Black, whoever the fuck was around back then. I think Tory Black was around back then. This would have been like 06 or 07, something like that. 05 maybe. No, this would have been 06 or 07. I don't know. Tory Black, who the fuck would I can't. Jerry Poppins. Maybe it's Craig the Giant. I can only remember the ones I was into. Fucking Liz Vicious. I doubt he was all about the little goth girl, but I don't know. You know? But again, how do you stand up there as the pastor and just be like, you know, look at this fucking Coomer over here, am I right? Now, if you excuse me, I have a meeting with my secretary. How do you do that? How do you not choke on the words? Once again, to me, looking back at that, fucking eviscerating a man for a less severe version of the same sin you're doing, that's a far more damnable thing. Then yeah, railing the secretary in the fucking office. I don't know. But hey, what do I know? You know. All right. Well, you know what? We've gone on for about an hour and 15 minutes. Well, a little more than an hour, I guess, because we had damn near 10 minutes of music. And you know what? None of you have given me super chats. And I'm a whore. I need more money. I need fuck you money so I can fuck off. Because I don't have James McDonald's millions and millions of dollars I stole from a church. Well, yeah, I ain't got no super chats. I got other shit I could be doing. Fuck all you. Fuck you. Fuck you all. That's my statement. How it is. You can all eat shit. You're not giving me money, so fuck you. But if you do enjoy the show and you enjoy the content I put out, do consider supporting the show. Streamlabs.com/Bedglov. Send a donation when I'm not live, and I'll see it when I am live and read it. PayPal.me/Bedglov. I'll try to remember to put the Amazon wish list on there. And yeah, that's about it for today, folks. I want to thank you all for listening.